The Sadducees, because they knew that Jesus talked about the resurrection, wanted to prove to Jesus how illogical it was and how unreasonable it was one to think about anything like resurrection. They want to prove to Jesus that the resurrection from the dead, if it's a possibility, would be something that would cause confusion and chaos and disagreements and quarrel among those who are raised from the dead. And so they brought before Jesus a scenario, a story, a case. Now, during that same time of Jesus, it was something that was obligatory for a man to raise children for his brother if his brother dies after marrying without having children through his wife. So there was a case of 7 brothers who were in that situation, and the first married a woman and didn't have any issues, and then he died. So the second took the wife, and third. All of them married the same woman until later the woman herself died without any issues. Now the point we're trying to make is, if the resurrection from the dead was something that was right and proper, or if as Jesus, according to them, was saying there was resurrection from the dead, whose wife would that woman be? For them, there will be confusion among those who have risen from the dead, because she has been the wife of A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, of 7 brothers. So who among them will be her husband? Because she's married to everyone. So there will be confusion going to them. It will be something bizarre for her to stand and have, have 7 husbands. And then Jesus told them how mistaken they were, that they didn't understand God's teaching. They didn't understand what it means to be raised from the dead. And 2 points Jesus made, and valid points that silenced them. The first was, Jesus says, in the first instance, it is only those who are in this life that marry and go into marriages because they die. People marry to procreate, to give birth to children. That's why they were marrying. For that was why those 7 brothers were marrying, so they can give birth to children. That's the point they were trying to make. And when they die and they are raised, they don't die anymore. They do not need to procreate. They are there with God. They experience that life with God and the life in God. They love one another. They're all there. Like the angels are all sons and daughters of God. So when they get to the resurrection, they're not going to die again to depart that world. If they already populate heaven, they don't need to procreate to produce more children in heaven. So see, there's a big difference. People die from here, they don't procreate, the earth will be empty. So they procreate, so the earth will be inhabited by future generations. But when they get to heaven, they don't die. That's a very strong point that Jesus told them. And then the second point, Jesus said to them, because this same group, the Sadducees, they believe in what is called the Torah. From the Torah that they believe in, Jesus quoted, in fact, from Exodus, that passage of the burning bush where God said he is God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob. I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Jesus said to them, if there was nothing like resurrection, God will be talking about those people in the present time and as God of those people who were dead. So because they are alive, they have been raised, God still is their God. He's talking about them in the present tense. I am God. I am God of Abraham. I am God of Isaac. I am God of Jacob. He didn't say I was the God of Abraham. I was the God. So as God talked about them in the present tense, that means they are alive. And this is what the Sadducees believe in and what they read in the book of Exodus. And so He's God of the living, not of the dead. So those people are not dead, they are alive. They were all silenced. And then the scribes and those who believe in the resurrection, they said, "Teacher, you have spoken well." Because they believe in the resurrection, the scribes themselves. What do we learn from this? Wisdom. Wisdom from on high. Jesus had so much wisdom. No one dared were told to ask him, for they no longer dare to ask him any question. Because there was no question they asked him that I didn't have any response to. And as children of God, we need to have wisdom. When people come to us, they want to find out what we will say about issues of a matter, we must always ask God for wisdom. Wisdom to reply, to make responses, to live among people, to live among ourselves. We need wisdom. When you serve God, you need wisdom. Wisdom, and that is what a lot of people lack. Even if you have the opportunity of ruling or leading people, you need wisdom. Wisdom will teach you so many lessons. In the first instance, wisdom will teach you that there is nothing in this world. That is where wisdom begins. When you begin to live as though all you have is in this world, then you have a problem. And that is the problem of the Sadducees. They were saying that there's no resurrection because for them, everything is in this world. So, like, in Nigerian parlance, people say, "Now the one way chop them your own." That is an error. A lot of people make that mistake. There's nothing like that one chop them your own. As a child of God, we must remember always, there is a life hereafter. After here, there is a life hereafter. Let us pray, therefore, for the Lord to help us to curb our excesses, to stop our sinful ways, and to obey Him always. We come to Him in confession, begging Him for His forgiveness, and be ready to straighten our ways, so that we will have that opportunity of entering His kingdom. Let us always listen to Jesus. Let us employ wisdom in our daily living. At the end of it all, we have the privilege of being called to resurrected life in Jesus Himself, through Christ our Lord. Amen.